Hi, my name is SahLeem Israel Butler, and I am a transgender male currently living in New York City. I am an artist, a graphic designer, entrepreneur, and also somebody that's very deeply rooted in my spirituality and my faith. I became a part of Transilient because I wanted to be a part of a project that was sharing the stories of trans people past our physical transition and the negative barriers we face. Come on now. We are magic and we are light. And we were not made to fit into society's norms by no means. And as a person of faith, I actually believe that we were chosen to take this unique journey. And in the process, we're going to shift the world. So this summer, I'll be joining the team handling operations as well as documenting our journey as we travel through the South, going into people's homes, talking with them, interviewing, and just making connection one-on-one and more intimate connection. So I hope that you guys will join us. I hope people will follow us on our journey this summer. And I hope that the magic will come out of what we have to share.
Hi, I'm Klie. I am the Communications Director for Transilient, and I'm from New Orleans. I wanted to be a part of the project because I see a need for more representation of trans folks, especially in the South. Growing up here and also in Mississippi, I would have really personally benefited from seeing other people just living their lives who I could relate to. And as an adult, I feel like my friends and family and the people who I meet would also benefit from a project like this. A little bit more about me. My background is in social work. I currently work in the nonprofit world on environmental justice issues. I have a cat. I also work in communications for a local water group. And I'll be going to the Allied Media Conference next month in Detroit, so if any of you see me there, please come say hi. What makes Transilient special? I think what sets Transilient apart from other photo projects is that this one focuses on the whole person instead of just their transition or their coming out story. It really talks about the stuff that we do in our everyday lives. It's storytelling, and I think it'll really connect all of us, no matter what our gender is, when we can see that we're all just humans out there living everyday life, just doing things. What I want to bring to the project. What I hope to bring to the project is my lived experience as a non-binary person in the South, but also my experience in nonprofit management and in communications. I'd like to help spread the word that we are here and we are so much more than our gender.
My name is Julisa. I am the Director of Transgender Outreach for Fair Michigan, and Transilient is important because it allows us to spread awareness.
Hi everyone, my name is Jonah Welch. I'm a 25-year-old non-binary trans person. I'm an artist and a photographer, currently living in Austin, Texas. I'm also a mystic and a spiritual practitioner, and I sort of focus on making work for the spiritual uplift of the transgender community. I'm really excited to be working with Transilient. I think it's a really special project in that we are approaching people in a totally open setting where any kind of conversations will be celebrated. We're forming intimate connections with people all across the country. And this year specifically, we'll be focusing in the South, where people are being hit the hardest with anti-LGBT legislation, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what sorts of stories people have about their lives in these areas of the country, and just meeting amazing people in this transnational network that we hope to form. Something I want to bring to Transilient, there's a number of things, but I'm interested in bringing a sort of fine art touch to the project. I really like to focus on putting trans people in the long human history of fine art. So I'm going to be really I'm going to be doing photography. I'm going to be looking at the details of the images and how we can best bring forward the spirit of the person that we're talking with, helping create a comfortable environment for these photos, for our conversation as well. And yeah, I'm sure a lot of what will come is totally unknown to me, and I'm very, very excited for that. And thank you to everyone who's supported our work, and I'm looking forward to what we put out.
Hi, my name is Sophia Stanford, and I'm a member of Transilient. I go by she, her, trans, and Gotham Siren. My interests include Wing Chun fighting, music, racing around cars and motorcycles, climbing strange structures, and just about anything else I can get my hands on. I have a classical background in advanced aeronautics and aviation, and I'm the first openly transgender graduate of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University with a master's in space studies, human factors in aviation, a commercial pilot and flight instructor with a few thousand hours of flight time. I feel Transilient is special because it strives to fight the standard narrative of public perception in the lives of the trans community. Most media about us presents us as a very timid community just barely striving for anything more than comfort in our own bodies, when we are all much more than just a transition timeline. We each have our needs of fulfillment and desire that is fundamental to our own personal meaning in life that stretches far beyond our transition. So instead of waiting for the soundbite media to reduce our stories to just a sad kitten stuck in a tree, we take the reins from them and actively steer public perception to what we find important. I hope to bring to the project a view of the edge, those places where most don't get to see. I have the fortunate luck of having a vastly diverse series of worlds that I run in, stretching between the professional, the art world, and the dark abyss that is contained within our community. I live on a spur-of-the-moment mobility and can put myself where I need to be, and I'm not afraid to be burnt by the fire I go running into.
Hey y'all, my name is Basil, and I'm one of the founders and the director at Transilient, and I'm just going to jump into it. So what do I think makes Transilient special? Well, I think a lot of things, but number one, we travel. You know, we could easily do something where we had folks send us photos and selfies and told their stories and humanized them in that way, and while that's a very legitimate way to do something, like, I want to take it further. My team wants to take it further, and, we go to different states, different towns. We put ourselves like on the front line, and I want the world to see how beautiful trans people are. And I think the only way to do that is to like really connect with another person and like find their heart and make sure that their heart is super visible in a photo or in the video or however it comes out. And I like making connections. I mean, I'm still friends with everyone who we interviewed last summer. This is our second round, and 3 of those people are working with Transilient now. We have Carmen, Julisa, and Jonah, who's my assistant on the road this summer. I don't think you can ignore like how that's like special and cool and shows how meeting and connecting can build something bigger, and we can fight for the greater good of things. I mean, that's awesome. So yeah, and why did I start this project? Well, I feel like most people who are not transgender and are cisgender get their information about trans people through the media. And the media has a history of portraying us in ways that aren't, they're pretty one-dimensional and kind of create a monolith, meaning that they tend to look at our trauma and our oppression, but don't really look at the human sides of us. And while I think making sure that people know about what happens to trans folks in our society is very important, I think there's room also to know about who trans folks are. I mean, we are more than trans, and we're doctors, and we're friends, and we're lovers, and we're children, and we're parents, and we're in the military, and we're delivering your mail. We're also making your coffee, many of us. So yeah, that's my whole goal, and we can keep calling out the media and trying to correct them, or we can just do something about ourselves, and that's what we're doing. We're gonna show the world who trans people are and how amazing and beautiful and strong and resilient and funny and loving and multifaceted that we all are, because people are multifaceted and trans people are people. I'm so pumped to be on the road this summer with SahLeem and Jonah. I have to give a quick shout out to Klie. They've been doing communications and just really like taking it up a level for Transilient for sure. Really grateful that the National Center for Transgender Equality is sponsoring us. And I'm really happy and excited to have BuzzFeed with us for a week on the road in the Deep South. So please follow our travels, and hopefully I'll see you on the road.